Hey guys, Carmen Hope Thomas here, and I wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you to all of my Facebook followers for Thomas Family Travels, also my Facebook followers for Carmen Hope Thomas with my books, my music, my life. Thank you so much for following and supporting all that I do. I think about it sometimes, and I'm very humbled that people are still interested in what I'm doing. And so I just want to say thank you so very, very much. I decided to kind of come in and share quickly once again. I got several, I would say several, maybe about 5 inquiries about my last video about traveling and traveling with the family, with Thomas Family Travels. Once again, I want to say thank you and a quick shout out to all of you who have recently subscribed. Dea, Larry, Lisa, Miranda, Lachey, Mark, Dell. Thank you. Those are folks who just recently subscribed to our travel channel. Thank you so much for your support and just being interested in a family traveling. But to get into why I think it's important to share the mission of Thomas Family Travels with all of you out there is because I just think it's important that in today's climate of really uncomfortable immigration, how moving people and people groups around the world, how things are going, having your documents, having your paperwork, having your passport updated, knowing where your birth certificate is. I can't tell you how many times I've sat in the embassy or in the passport office and I'm sitting there, handling my business, and people are talking to the different officers saying, I don't know where my birth certificate is, or my grandmother was born a long time ago. I don't know where her birth certificate is or where she was born, or she can't remember this or that. And those things cause people to have great anxiety when it comes to trying to move or trying to move the family along to a new place or new space that's more comfortable. You have all these people who are just trying to move around the world, and when you don't have your documents together, you can't go anywhere. Of course, you're not going to leave if your family doesn't have their documents together. Who's leaving their mom behind or their grandmother behind or their kids or whoever? Most people are not going to do that. So having all those documents in place is a subtle thing that I was trying to share in the Thomas Family Travels without being overly zealous and concerned and whistle blowing and how people try to scare people into doing things. I was trying not to do it that way, but in a lot of ways we need to start getting a little fearful of how things are going in the world today, especially when you don't have proper documentation. It's not that you're not born here or born there or wherever. It's not that you're illegal, but when you can't prove it, that's a problem. And that's what I've been trying to share subtly. So now I'm not going to be so subtle. I'm just going to come out with some of the reasoning why I came up with the concept of Thomas Family Travels. I've also talked to my family. I've talked to my extended family. I've talked to, different people who have children or young adult children or whatever about getting their documents together. I'm not going to be subtle anymore. As a Christian, as an Adventist, especially as a believer in prophecy, I think that this is pertinent for today. Everyone knows Matthew 24:15 through 18, and what it talks about, that the day is coming when you will see what Daniel the prophet spoke about, the sacrilegious object that causes desecration standing in the holy place. And it has a quotation here, reader, pay attention to this point. Then those in Judea must flee to the hills. A person out on the deck of a roof must not go down into the house to pack. A person out in the field must not return for a coat. How terrible it will be for a pregnant woman or a nursing woman in those days. And pray that your flight will not be in the winter or on the Sabbath, for there will be a great anguish then at any time, a greater anguish then that at any time since the world began. We think that that is so far off, but I submit to you that we've got people right now who are running from other countries with just their children, just the clothes on their backs, running from other countries, fleeing persecution. Now, it may not be the kind of religious persecution that you're looking for as your bell whistle, but it is persecution. And they don't have anything but just themselves. And what I'm trying to say to us all is, if you have access to your stuff, get it. I can't tell you, I have people in my own family who could not find birth certificates. Something as simple as a birth certificate, needing to go down to such and such an office to get a copy of. That's important to have. Another thing that's important to have is to start training your kids early how to navigate through an airport, how to go through customs. Simple little things like that means a lot if you're not there, to help them, or if you're not always, there for that teenager who's now a young adult who's never been anywhere, to know that there's certain things that they need. What I'm saying is, while we have the time, prepare. And it's for us, because the Lord has blessed us to have jobs that travel, all over, or for me, opportunities to sing all over. I have opted to take my children when possible. That's all, so that they can know how to navigate certain things. Nobody's bragging that I can travel all over the world with my kids. And my husband, we could both say this. We're thinking that we can inspire other families to start thinking of ways to take the kids out of the little comfort zones of always being exposed to the same old, and moving transcontinental, not just state to state, but just kind of moving around the world, because you never know when that's going to be necessary. Period. You could take that, you could leave it, you could say, oh, great, thanks, Carmen, for letting me know. However you want to take it. But for us, for me, I think it's important that my little kids know how to find the gate in an airport, know how to find the concourse in the airport, know that they need more than just a passport to move in certain circles in certain countries. You may need a visa as well. You understand? To know that these things are necessary. There are grown-ups that don't know that. All we're trying to do is sound the alarm to get prepared. And with that, please log on to our channel, The Thomas Family Travels, on YouTube. Click to subscribe and come travel with us. We're trying to make it fun, but at the end of the day, the fun has a very serious underlying message of trying to teach our children how to be global citizens so that they can move around this world without fear and with a preparedness that lets them know that this is their Father's world and they can do and go wherever necessary in it with His blessing. With that being said, thank you so much for your support. Until next time.